So much of marketing can feel like a game of chance, right? You're just throwing ideas out there, hoping something, anything sticks. But what if you could trade all that guesswork for engineered success? Well, that's exactly what a marketing action plan is for. And today, we're going to build one from the ground up. All right, so let me just ask you this straight up. Does your marketing ever feel like you're just guessing? Throwing stuff at the wall and just hoping something sticks. Maybe one day it's a totally random social post, and the next day it's an ad campaign with a budget that's, let's be honest, based more on a gut feeling than anything else. Look, it's a super common problem, but it's not how the pros play the game. I mean, trying to do marketing without an action plan, it's kind of like setting off on a huge road trip with no map, no GPS, not even a clue where the next gas station is. You might end up somewhere interesting, sure, but you are almost definitely not going to reach your actual destination. And that's exactly why we've got to turn all that guesswork into a real, solid game plan. This is where the marketing action plan becomes your best friend. Seriously, it's the playbook, the map, the thing that brings order to the chaos and gives your whole team a clear path to follow. But here's the thing. A great plan isn't something one person just whips up in a vacuum. No way. It takes a whole team. So, before we even start drawing this map, let's meet the people who actually build it. Who's on the team, and what does everybody do? Okay, so building this plan is absolutely a team sport. Everybody has a crucial part to play. You've got the account manager, who's basically the client's champion, making sure everything aligns with what they actually need. Then there's the marketing team. They're the architects, the big picture thinkers, designing the strategy. The creative team, they're the storytellers, the ones who bring the whole thing to life with amazing visuals and copy. The performance team are the data wizards, tweaking the ads to get the best results. And holding it all together is the project manager, who's like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure everyone hits their notes on time. Every single one of these roles is critical. All right, let's dive into phase one, the foundation. I like to call this setting your North Star, because really, before you can even think about drawing a map, you have to know where you are, where you're going, and honestly, who you're bringing along for the ride. So this whole foundation phase breaks down into 3 key steps. First up is client discovery. I mean, you can't draw a map if you don't know the terrain, right? So you have to dig in and really understand the business, the market, the competitors. Second, you define your goals and your KPIs. This is huge. What does success actually look like, and how are you going to measure it? And third, audience segmentation. Who are we even talking to here? Yeah, this is a really crucial point. Just saying you want to increase sales isn't a goal. It's a wish. It's a hope. A real professional goal has to be measurable. And the way we do that in marketing is with KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators. So what the heck is a KPI really? Think of it like this. It's just a number. A specific, measurable number that tells you how well you're actually doing at hitting your main business goals. Yeah, it's pretty much the scoreboard for your entire marketing effort. And here are a few of the big ones you'll see all the time. For example, you've got your cost per acquisition, or CAC. That's just how much money does it cost us to get one new customer. Or maybe return on ad spend, ROAS. That's for every single dollar we put into ads, how many dollars do we get back? These are the numbers that turn that random guesswork into smart data-driven decisions. Okay, so once we've got that solid foundation poured, it's time for phase 2, the strategy. This is where the fun really begins. We start making some big decisions and choosing the actual roads we're going to take on our map. And really, this whole strategy phase boils down to 2 huge decisions. First, channel selection. Simple question. Where are we going to show up and deliver our message? And second, creative direction. What is that message going to look like, sound like, and feel like when it gets there? So how do you pick your channels? This is important. You don't just jump on the newest, trendiest platform because everyone else is. No, you go where your audience already is. And that's exactly why that audience work we did back in phase 1 is so critical. Are they scrolling TikTok for hours? Or are they professionals checking their email and LinkedIn? Right. So once you know where you're going to be, you've got to decide how you're going to sound. And creative direction is so much more than just pretty pictures and cool fonts. It is your brand's entire personality. It's the core message, the value you provide, the hooks you use to stop the scroll, and your overall tone of voice. This is what makes sure everything you put out there feels like it's coming from the same brand. Okay, foundation is set. Strategy is chosen. Now we're ready for phase 3, the blueprint. This is where we stop talking high level and get super tactical. We're building the detailed step-by-step plan that's going to guide every single thing we do. This right here, this is the heart and soul of the action plan. This isn't some vague summary. It's a detailed instruction manual. So the big question is, what's actually inside this blueprint? First thing you'll find is the ads campaign plan. This gets super specific. It lays out exactly who you're targeting, what kinds of campaigns you're going to run, are we going for awareness or are we trying to get sales, how you're splitting up the budget, the ad formats, and even the specific KPIs for each and every campaign. See, no more just guessing with your ad money. Next up, you've got the content plan. Think of this as the master schedule for all of your free organic stuff. This thing details a full monthly calendar with every topic, what format it'll be, like a reel or a carousel post, and it can even get as detailed as the exact captions and hashtags to use. It's all about planned, purposeful communication instead of scrambling for ideas every day. The blueprint also has what we call a production and funnel plan. The production side details every single asset you need to create. We're talking everything from video scripts and photo shoot requirements to mood boards. Then, the funnel plan maps out that whole customer journey, from the moment they first hear about you to the moment they buy, using things like landing pages, chatbots, and email sequences. Okay, but let's be real. A plan is totally useless if it just collects dust in a folder somewhere, right? So that brings us to phase 4, the follow-through. This is where the rubber meets the road. We bring that beautiful blueprint to life and turn the plan into actual results. And you have to understand this process is a never-ending loop. It's a cycle. So first you get the final sign-off from the client. Then you execute. You launch the campaigns, you post the content. But here's the crucial part. You monitor performance daily. You have to, so you can double down on what's working and quickly fix what isn't. Then, at the end of the month, you report on all the results. And all those learnings, they feed right back into planning the next month's cycle. It just keeps going. Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So to bring this all home, let's wrap up by looking at the whole process one more time, but this time, let's focus on the actual things you'll create. Think of this as your final checklist of deliverables. So here it is. These are the tangible real-world documents that come out of this whole process. You start with the discovery and competitor analysis, you create the goals and personas, you build the channel and creative plan, and it all culminates in that full monthly action plan. And then you wrap the cycle with a performance report. Each step creates a concrete deliverable. This is how you turn vague ideas into a system where people are actually held accountable. And notice how every single piece has a clear owner. That is absolutely essential for clarity and making sure things actually get done. And there you have it. That is the professional's playbook. It's a clear, repeatable process for taking marketing goals and turning them into reality. So really, the only question left for you is, what's the very first step you're going to take to build your next action plan?